I'm thinking about the future of California, but you hear some of the rhetoric around the pro-natalism movement, and people talk about it like it's an existential threat to society. Why is that? Why is it not just, oh, the numbers are low, but maybe they're going to go back up in the future? Talk more about some of the big picture implications before we get into some of the specifics.
Well, I think that the reason that some people get really worried about it is there's a couple things. One, growth, economic growth, and population growth are one and the same, right? Like, I mean, that's an oversimplification, but the more people you have working, the more contribution you have to GDP, the more people you have making things and providing services. So there's a huge economic component to it. And I think there's a cultural crisis. I think that people at the cultural level are like, there aren't enough of our people anymore. And so I think that, you see there's also, I mean, some of it I think is intertwined with religiosity. I think you see some of it as like concern about, in certain communities, there's like a belief that you have a moral responsibility to have more children, and from their faith, and so there's a crisis in that where it's like Catholics are a classic example. It used to be that there was a stereotype that Catholics had 12 kids because it's a moral imperative, and they just don't anymore. And I think that that weighs on some people from a cultural perspective. So I think that's why. And then honestly, from a geopolitical one, people think, I think sometimes China has 1 billion people. We only have 350 million. How can we compete forever? If they catch up on a productivity basis, then their economy will be more powerful than ours because they just have 3 times as many people.